Hello, we are back with the Treasure Huat number 2. Well, change of face. Hakim here, or no, Hakim Nice, and with me, Evan Smoke VGC. How are you, Evan?
Nice. Today's tournament had a little bit of a rocky start, but then the games are very good. Like, this is our second Series 2 tour, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, this is Treasure Huat number 2. This is the first Series 2 tournament.
Oh, yeah.
So we've seen the meta has developed thanks to Orlando recently.
Correct.
Yeah, so we have some stats, but we're gonna straight away get into the action between Avester and Ryan Tan.
Yeah, because
they are not new. They are, they've been playing for a while right now. So look at the teams. So Ryan is rocking.
Ryan's on the right.
Yeah, Ryan's rocking with Mercro, Roaring Moon, Iron Bundle, Golden Go, Great Task, and Amungus. So this is a very hard-hitting team, and we speed control. Yeah.
Then on the left we have Avester bringing a very interesting core of the Espatra plus the Sandy Shocks. Then very offensive options with Flutter Mane, Talonflame for speed, then there's Hydreigon and Iron Hands. Iron Hands is a very staple Pokemon in the format right now. A lot of the Singaporean players have been bringing the Paradox Mons. It's very interesting to see everybody you guys put the noise cancellation. Yes. Okay.
Sorry, instructions given. Okay, so another thing we have to, something unique there, we just seen there is Ryan and Avester. They have 6 unique mons, on each side. So that is rarely seen in any tournament. Usually we see there's some, overlapping of mons. Today Iron Bundle is actually the number 1 in usage, and
okay.
There. So maybe like Intimidator, Arcanine, none of the sides has Arcanine. So it'll be interesting how this match goes.
Nice, yeah, that's true. I didn't expect that I don't expect both players to use 6 mons completely different, right?
Yeah, so here we have the selection from Ryan's point of view. So we see Mokro and Roaring Moon being considered by him, probably going for the hyper offensive mode. So just taking a look, there is Great Task is important here for the Iron Hands, but will Ryan want to bring Iron Hands? Maybe, because this is main answer to Iron Bundle.
I think interesting team building from Ryan, who is primarily a TCG player, because usually you see the Talonflame paired together with the Great Task. But then this time choosing to go with the Series 1 Mercro, maybe this can be an adaptation of a Series 1 team. Mercro, Goldengo. Oh, there's double Goldengo.
Alright, so here we go. Both sides leading with their Tailwind supporter. Of course, Talonflame has more options with Will-O-Wisp. He can go for his Gale Wings, Brave Bird, but so we'll see. Both Tailwind, will go off one after another thanks to Gale Wings and the Prankster respectively. Maybe we'll take a look at
both of them, yes. So Ryan's this one and then Avester is this one.
So it's Roaring Moon with Terra Flying. And with his booster energy being used, his acrobatics is gonna put off a lot of damage.
Sandy Shocks is very interesting, in an interesting position here. Like, sometimes you want to go for the gravity to prepare for the Espatra in the back, but both players just opting to go with the the Tailwind options on both sides. Let's see if they stagger it or if they just feel the pressure to click it first. The Talonflame is the first one who went for Tailwind. Let's see if Mokro follows suit. Mokro also goes through, so both sides have equal number of turns of Tailwind here. Roaring Moon actually calls the Sandy Shock, doesn't really respect it because Sandy Shock's protected, goes for the Throat Chop but couldn't take the Talonflame down.
Yeah, so on hold on, Sandy Shocks, yeah, so Sandy Shocks.
It has the booster energy boost, so it should be faster than the Roaring Moon. Except it doesn't have a good, it doesn't have very good damage into Roaring Moon. If the Roaring Moon doesn't Terra into flying, then it doesn't matter. You T-boat also no point.
On that end, on Avester's end, he didn't Terra. No, sorry, on Ryan's end he didn't Terra. So keeping the resistance from the electric type intact. And now let's see what they do. Gravity comes through. So flying types nullified.
Yeah, the reason why he's doing it is he's setting it up first, then possibly Espatra is in the back, then you have a speed boost, and you try and attack.
A lot of damage.
Wow.
Yeah, so now like Evan mentioned, Talonflame goes down, gives a free switch in to probably the Espatra at the back.
Oh,
Look at
nice.
the Dragon Dance. So now with the Tailwind and a +1 speed boost, and probably the Photosynthesis, no, I think it was for the attack stat rather than the speed stat. So that's like a +2 attack boosted Roaring Moon. It's gonna deal a lot of damage.
That's generally what a lot of players are doing with Roaring Moon right now, so it's a very good set. Then here comes the Espatra. The gravity is already set up. However, the Espatra does not have the speed boost from its ability because it just came in. Therefore, the Sandy Shocks will move first. The Espatra Sandy Shocks strategy, right, is for Espatra to go for Lumina Crash to lower per death. Then the Sandy Shocks follows up with Thunderbolt or Earth Power, right? But it's not happening here because the Sandy Shocks has the booster energy speed boost, so it has to move next. But here, the Espatra should go for Hypnosis because a lot of disruption. No one.
Yeah, that's very
wow,
good. So
nice.
Terra Duck there to prevent the taunt. Thunderbolt comes in.
So no one. It's very hard to
KO.
prevent Hypnosis, right? You need a Lump Berry or you need
Look at that.
something
+2 attack Roaring Moon. 1 hit KO. Although there was some chip damage. There's Inglin, double KO. Okay, so now we are down 2 aside.
Yes.
We are 2v2.
very nice
Interesting
play
endgame.
from both ends, I think. Yeah, because Avester like avoiding the taunt with this Terra Duck, very good tech. Then he can put any mon he chooses to go to sleep. If the Great Tusk is coming in with an Assault Vest, then you know it cannot protect, right? So it's an easy Hypnosis into that slot. I'm curious to see if this like Hydreigon has something useful. Yeah, I guess Heat Wave into the Goldengo will be possible. So both sides have to play some mind games here. I think we have to come down to a bit of sleep turn rolls.
Because right now with the speed boost, Espatra is the fastest thing around. I think it's quite obvious that the Great Tusk can't protect, right? So yeah, I think if I were Avester, targeting the Great Tusk to put it to sleep is very safe. But in terms of the Goldengo, will Ryan now Terra because it's threatened by the Hydreigon. And it's like it's Terra now.
I think Ryan shouldn't protect the Goldengo at all because Hypnosis does not affect Goldengo. Yeah, because of the good as gold. So
now I don't know, maybe he's hoping for Hypnosis to miss, who knows?
he cannot. That's the thing. Yeah.
Can't. So yeah.
This is unavoidable.
Yeah, it's unavoidable.
Go straight in. Maybe the Terra ground is to try and survive. Try and be not super effective to a Dazzling Gleam or to.
Okay, Snarl came through. So let's see what Ryan goes for. Make it rain. Don't think this KOs, yeah.
Okay, it kind of threatens the 2 KO into the Espatra. I guess the good news is if like the Snarl comes out again, then maybe the Espatra can survive and do more meaningful damage. So here we are having a battle of attrition. They will just keep slapping each other to see who kills who first.
So right now, Great Tusk, it has run 1 turn of sleep. So Ryan
can wake up.
Yeah, he can wake up and quick earthquake because the gravity is still there. And yeah, with the boosted ×2 due to the Terra typing, I think he will win the game.
There's one very interesting interaction here is that gravity is set. So the Levitate Hydreigon actually fails, right? You can go for Protect Earthquake. And then it should kill, like it should do good damage to both. But I think seems like Ryan is choosing to go for the close combat into the Hydreigon to take it out once and for all.
That's a lot of damage, even though it's AV. He did wake up.
Eh, and okay, then that takes out the Hydreigon. So
Okay.
choosing to go for single target and then now forcing the Espatra to either go for Dazzling Gleam or go for the single target Lumina Crash. I forgot how much HP the Goldengo has, but then I think Dazzling Gleam seems quite impossible, right, to hit both.
Look like Dazzling Gleam can take it.
So we see the ups and downs of Hypnosis. You hit the Hypnosis, but you only sleep one
Of
turn.
course, yeah, correct. So you have to you stop it at that turn, but having to capitalize it is important. But yeah, so that's
Unlucky.
where
Unfought.
Great Task goes down.
With the second Snarl, maybe you can survive the Make It Rain. Then somehow he needs to miracle like crit something into.
Avester, Hydreigon, it has Heat Wave, Snarl, and Draco.
Oh, it was enough
so
though.
it doesn't have the Dark Pulse. Yeah, we were wondering why he went for Snarl. So if there
makes
was
sense.
Dark Pulse, you put the not Donphan, Great Task to sleep, and then targeting the Goldengo. Maybe that would have helped him out more. But yeah, that's where because he already Terra, Dark is Espatra.
Yes.
And so he couldn't go for the step Heat Wave because it's Terra Fire Hydreigon.
Yeah, that makes sense. A bit unlucky
But I think both played well. They played to what's that flow chart. Both knew that they win is
Yes.
important. Both knew when to Terra. I think on Abester's end, he knows his flow chart. It was that we saw that it was usual hypnosis. He knows how to target it right. Great Task doesn't have protect, so he went for the play. But yeah, that's where when you play with hypnosis, 3 turns, you hope to get your opponents to sleep for 3 turns. But for this time, Ryan managed to get the 1 turn of sleep instead, and take down the Hydreigon, which was the main threat to Goldengo. And yeah, he sealed the win.
Yeah, I think good choice of target with the close combat as well. Like maybe if I suggested that Earthquake and he went for it, the Hydreigon survived, then it would be both Espatra and Hydreigon will be the fastest on the field, then things will get dicey. So yeah, adjusting.
So the game went by rather fast, but I think both players know what are the threats to their teams and they targeted well.
Oh, I just realized that they are still in team preview.
So we now see a team preview. So maybe if right now is 1 game up and it looks like he's going for the same leads. Let's see if it's the same for Abester's end.
Yeah, very interesting for Avester not to lead the Espatra Sentry Shocks because that puts a lot of pressure onto Ryan's Mons. Everyone except the Goldengo can go to sleep, but then maybe that just forces Avester to Terra Dark because Ryan leads with Murkrow, so I think very good mind games from both sides. They do trust their leads here, and they are leading the same thing. Honestly, I don't want the Roaring Moon to be on the right side because he always blocks the screen. If you realize, at least the Murkrow you can see in between.
Yeah, so maybe for the viewers who just came in, we'd like to just remind you that we are on the point of view of Ryan, although he's on the right side, but yeah, what we are seeing from is Ryan's point of view. And over here we have the same leads from game 1, so we'll both go for Tailwind. So to me, so like Evan mentioned just now, maybe if the Espatra lead, then Avester may feel that I'm on the bad foot because I couldn't Tailwind. So both trying to get the speed advantage here.
Yeah. Oh, there's a turn 1 Terra this time. Things are different. Oh my god, it's going straight for the Terra flying.
Ryan might just want to take up a KO instead, because seeing that Avester didn't go for an electric move onto any of his Mon earlier in the game 1, he feels safer to take this opportunity.
Oh, and Murkrow goes for Taunt to stop the gravity. And also, in the previous game, right?
He went for the Teemo now.
No, but into Murkrow. So what I want to mention is in the previous game, we know that Avester is very difficult to take down the Murkrow. He really needs to double into it. But then Murkrow went for Tailwind on turn 1. It could be better if he went for Tailwind on turn 2. So here, we might see this effect on Ryan's side to battle the Espatra, because the Espatra keeps boosting itself with speed.
Yeah, so I think over here Ryan knows that the step throat chop didn't pick up the KO on Talonflame. So this time around, he said, okay, I have the Terra here, and then pick up the KO on Talonflame. So now he is Mon up.
Yes.
Then like Ever mentioned, so right now he doesn't have Tailwind, but does it matter? Because Avester has Tailwind, he has Espatra, that will keep speed boosting. So Ryan's end, he will always be on the back foot in terms of speed. So what does he have going for him? He's a Mon up, he can switch around and maybe put out some cheap damage and then get the advantage from there.
I think right, there are some mind games here, right? Because Avester has not Terra yet. You can go for the throat chop into the Espatra, but then the Espatra can Terra in the dark.
Yeah.
So very cool strategies here. Oh, but Avester playing careful, and then probably wants to go for the Thunderbolt to go into the Roaring Moon slot. But let's see if Ryan catches it with the switch in. He does.
He does catch it. Yeah. So it's a good turn for Ryan. He still has 4 mons. He set up Tailwind. Of course, if Murkrow went down there and also called that switch, it's also on it to his benefit. He has Tailwind, he has 2 offensive mons to pick
Free
up.
switch.
Free switch.
Just
To deal a lot of damage. But right now, the Great Task, because he terrored the Roaring Moon already, so the Great Task now is super effective to the Dazzling Gleam.
Yeah, so for now, over here, like with 1 mon down on Avester's side, right, I think he might have to play with fire and it maybe Terra this dark, like Terra dark, avoid the taunt, and then try to go for blind hypnosis.
Oh, looks like he went for the grass Terra instead. Okay, so Roaring Moon still is at the back. It might. So over here, he's trying to avoid the ground type weakness maybe.
So Thunderbolt would make sense. Take down the Murkrow once and for all. Not much damage to do into the Great Task from the Sandy Shock side. No, goes for the Lumina Crash. So yeah, doesn't want to risk those. Doesn't want to risk the Hypnosis misses, right? And Lumina Crash is already super effective. So very good turn from Avester there with good options. I think this combo is kind of very cool to see it in action. Going up against the Great Task. Great Task has the special defense boost drop now, right? Then the next move should do well into it.
So you see Avester Sandy Shocks having Thunderbolt, Earth Power, as Protect. But yeah, what we need to know is that Sandy Shocks and the Espatra is faster. I believe it's the last turn of Tailwind on Avester's end. So
true. So I think a lot of things go down to Espatra's side.
It might be 2 turns of non-attacking. Maybe Roaring Moon protects, just stall out the last turn of Tailwind, but then Avester can protect on both bonds, to stall out his last turn of Tailwind and be faster.
Wait.
Yeah, but he's not taunted.
Yeah, both are taunted. Both are taunted. Like turn 1, so they can't protect. But that's okay, right? Like, I think if Avester want to preserve those turns of Tailwind, he just has to keep attacking because he is the one with the Tailwind turns running low.
Advantage. This is his last turn of Tailwind, so he has to play the offense right now. But Roaring Moon is rather bulky, he might have to wait for the switch.
So
I think it's
strange
calling
idea.
the protect Roaring Moon. That's comes back.
I think it's kind of calling some kind of earthquake play. But then it didn't happen. Both players have very different ideas here. Yeah, the protect Roaring Moon makes sense. But if he were to put in some damage on the right side,
he did went for the gravity. Nice. Maybe Avester called the passive turn from Ryan. Maybe Ryan just wants to stall out that last turn of Tailwind. So now he can, Avester can protect his Sandy Shocks to buy the last turn of Tailwind on Ryan's end, and then he's outspeed on the next turn.
Yeah, but a bit strange though. I don't understand why the gravity came out of nowhere. Like maybe he just wants the Hydreigon to hit all the Snarl and all the Heat Wave, and maybe Draco Meteor.
Protect from Avester. He's nodding there. So
did he go for the Draco into the Roaring Moon slot?
Yeah, so he went
double.
Offense. Yeah, he went for the offense.
That's so strong.
There's a lot of damage. Heat Rain. Oh, he killed.
KO's the Sandy Shock.
KO's the Sandy Shocks. Let's see what. I think it should be a heat wave coming here. So you can take down the Roaring Moon.
Let's see. You don't have to worry that you miss. Oh, nice call.
Yeah.
But Godengo just proves to be bulky enough. Crit on the wrong one. He needed to crit on the Godengo to get back in the game. But here, he has the free switch into Espatra back, and then Tailwind's out. Espatra will be the fastest on the field. If I'm not wrong. We still don't know the speed interactions between base Espatra versus the Godengo. But threatening the the hypnosis of the Great Task slot will be good again. And this time, we are down to this 2v2, but the HP stats are more manageable. The Great Task is already chip low by that first Lumina crash. So one thing tricky that Ryan did in this game, maybe that backfired, was to keep going for the taunt because he was forced to do it. We are in open team sheet here. Then Avester caught that and then just went for attacks instead. And that's important damage.
So over here, now Avester is playing the
protects again.
passive. He has faster set up. I think he wants to get the speed boost.
Makes sense.
Great Task enough.
I like the idea. I like the idea because if he protects the Espatra there, right, you will never reveal the speed interactions between Espatra and Godengo. Then you preserve information and you at the same time just get the speed boost for free. Hydreigon, you don't have to worry. You just keep attacking because Hydreigon has all like 100% accurate moves.
Okay, so Ryan here concedes. This is well played. So this is where the beauty of Pokemon comes, right? It's like, okay, right now it's an open team sheet. I have gravity, I have hypnosis. It's on you to stop it. So if you don't taunt me, I will go. Then you will get hypnosis if you don't taunt me. So Avester is playing that, okay, I have these tools, it's on you to stop it, but he went on the offensive. So will he change it around for game 3? This is where the mind games comes in. And on that turn, I think Ryan was calling that, hey, these friendly shots confirm will protect. So he went to set out a Dragon Dance. But no, Avester called his bluff and went on the offensive and take down the Roaring Moon. Because Roaring Moon was the last Mon standing to pick up the KO on Sandy shot. So imagine he went for it, for the acrobatic, stinky down, then the Make It Rain single targeting Hydreigon that just came in. I think it would have been to Ryan's advantage. So it was a really good game of it was really back and game. So back and forth game. It went down to a 2v2, but there were more interactions. More iterations involved in the game too.
It really seemed like Ryan had quite a lot of control, switching very well. Switch into a Thunderbolt, that kind of thing. But then ultimately,
came down to that one thing. You guys came down to that one thing.
That's true.
So good on Avester because this is where you play with your opponents. Okay, this game
this is how he plays.
I play this way, but he switch it up. So it makes Ryan think, oh, he's gonna go for it again. So now it's a game 3.
Very intense for both players. Ryan is very emotive and he always moves around. We can go.
Game 3, here we go.
Do they trust their leads?
Change up from Ryan now going with the Great Task.
Talonflame's best friend is Great Task, right? But then now they're looking at each other, opposite side of the field. Let's see if the Murkrow actually puts in some difference when usually you have the Talonflame next to the Great Task, right? But then one funny thing here is that if the Sandy Shock goes for gravity, then the Talonflame will fall to the floor and then you can Earthquake.
So you see here, Avester going for his turn 1 gameplay, protecting, Tailwind and protect. Let's go, maybe scout out. So both going for Tailwind. So this is a repeat of game 1, both going for Tailwind.
Like the partner is on a different...
Oh, Rock Slide. So one thing we can note is that Talonflame doesn't have Willow Wisp, so that's why Ryan doesn't need to be afraid.
Looking at open team sheets here.
Be afraid of taking the burn. Good turn from Ryan. He got
it. Just passive from Avester because he has the option to Terra Grass, right? And then maybe can just do a little bit of damage into the Murkrow first. So now very bad turn, loses a Mon. Ryan's side still has all full health. Yeah, but both sides set up tailwind, so he is always preparing for this moment of having the Espatra in side by side. However, the Sandy Shocks, Sandy Shocks will move first, so gravity tailwind is in effect, except the Murkrow can taunt either one. You either taunt the guy who sets gravity, or you taunt the guy who sleeps you.
But I think it's but of course Espatra can Terra Dump. So no Terra. Maybe for the offense. If Averster's trend goes on, we went for the offense.
I understand. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. So the double up.
I pick up the KO. So it's a crit.
Wait, I don't know. No, in the previous game, the Lumina crit did about 50%.
Yeah, that's under 50%. So.
Oh no! Now he gets the turn back.
So it's the same thing. Ryan always takes the lead, and then Avester comes back. But now it's different. Rory Moon comes in fresh into the Espatra and
the Sandy
Shocks. But because he already taunted the
Sandy Shocks.
But there's still the
mind game. You want to go for the blind hypnosis in a game 3 situation.
Hypnosis can still go through,
Hypnosis
is hypnosis. 60% is.
Martin Teo is not here. We need someone to replace.
So the 60% chance is still there. A lot of mind games here. But of course, Ryan, if he's confident, he can just go for damage. But if he Terra flying, then the Thunderbolt can go through. So it's a bit tough for him.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure, right?
Because there's Ingrid also. He has to take it off.
Okay, we see the Terra. It should be Terra Dark. It makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see if he doesn't go for the taunt there, and then maybe puts in more value of the Murkrow. Like goes for foul play into one of these slots just to do cheap damage.
Okay, so just playing it safe. Alright, so he's just scouting. It was the cause it.
Does he go for the gleam?
Yeah, he went for the offense. So good on Avester there. He just put on the offense. He knows he's faster. He knows that Ryan, you are a dragon duck, right? Is it a dragon duck?
Dragon duck, yeah.
Dragon duck type, right? For Rory Moon. So Ryan is on the back foot already there, thanks to the dazzling clean.
Overall, just very good coverage from both those mons. The Espatra and the Sandy Shocks got. You have electric type, you have ground, and then Espatra side has psychic and fairy.
Yeah.
Very strong, like Gardevoir. So, two good turns in a row.
Don't let the ostrich design and the color of the mon distract you from the threat that it poses. Sometimes we look at the design of a mon and say, hey, let's not take this seriously. But hey, Espatra is showing its worth here, especially in this game 3. So right now, the throat chop not gonna do much onto the Espatra after his Terra Dark. But now, if he's forced to Terra flying here, and Avester has the speed advantage, doubling up might just take it.
Correct. Yeah, and then here comes the full effect of the combo of Lumina Crash plus any attack.
So here we might see it. Lumina Crash.
Actually goes into Gotengo. Wow, that's very fierce. And if the Earth Power is enough, I'm not too sure. Oh my god, it actually is enough. That's insane. Wow, poor Gotengo. Because it's not, it's stab. Yeah, grass electric coverage. Wow, overall just very, very well played.
Avester really just outplaying Ryan here. He made the calls, he really predicted, made the right calls onto his moves. Okay, you're gonna Terra Flying here. He protects. Just burning the last turn of Tailwind maybe. He went for Gravity. Taking the meat of Ryan maybe.
But there was one turn where there was a critical hit that went into the Great Task. I'm not sure if it really mattered. Avester played very well a few more turns in a row. So even if the Great Task survived, he took down one more. I think Avester still has one more in the back. And then the Espatra and the Sandy Shocks kept doing good, super effective damage into Ryan's side. So I think Avester really trusted in the 4 mods that he brought, and the game plan really worked well. Ryan, unfortunately, the Murkrow just a bit lackluster, right? Only has foul play, so unfortunately couldn't
because
make much impact.
he had to bring the Macro out because
to match the tailwind.
Yeah, to match the tailwind one and to prevent all these plays that Avester can do. Because if he doesn't bring the Macro, then Avester can just go free, running the Espatra and sending shots to set up gravity, to hypnosis. So I think Ryan did what was right. Unfortunately, Avester having the upper hand in terms of the threats that he can bring into the team, so it forced Ryan's hands to limit in how he can play this matchup.
Yeah, very well said, and it's a good comeback from Avester. Just very nice to see the way he tries to keep calm, navigate the situation. That if you don't tilt, and then you try and find
you trust in your plan and you execute it. So this is how you do it, folks. Who says with open team sheets you can't execute a plan? It's more like you may not execute it in turn one, but rather you bide your time, you see how your opponent plays, and you find the right moment to execute a plan. So look at rather than setting up gravity turn one and then hypnosis, he executed the plan at turn 5 or even 6. This is how you master your flow chart and then you execute it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Instead of just going for the cookie cutter, the gravity hypnosis on turn 1, he actually does it very well with the Talon Flame. Then unfortunately Ryan kind of forced to leave the Macro and doesn't make any impact.
So on Avester's end, it was good on him because now we think back, he needed to match the tailwind so that the Espatra and the sending shots can go first every time threaten Ryan's side of the field. Don't let Avester have the speed advantage because his team requires the speed advantage to keep Ryan's one in check. So what we see here,
Ryan is going for his out. The out is Hydreigon misses all the moves he can.
That Terra Flying really. Commiserations to Ryan, well played by Avester. I think that was a really good set. It was an enjoyable one. So we see a very hyper-offensive team on Ryan's side and Avester. Very niche pick.
Yes.
A really combination heavy team. And I'm happy he managed to show it off. Ryan's ability on his team identifying that I needed these mons to stop it. He did stop it, but Avester knew that you are forced to stop it and I'm going on offense. I wait for the right moment and then I strike, which he did. And I think the game 3 was a perfect show from Avester. Like we mentioned, Avester's down on 1 more, but it doesn't matter. He was all about the plan.
Very cool. It's a very cool idea. Yeah, like the Talon Flame versus the Macro, and the Talon Flame was way better. Like in the pressure that he puts on. Then on top of that, the other bird in the back is the bird that is underrated. The Espatra just put in a lot of work.
So
very cool.
Do not let the color scheme of Espatra, do not let the design of Espatra distract you from the fact that he has won a game on stream and shown his worth. So over here now we're showing the usage stats for today. Iron Bundle, although it's been number 1, it was on one side of the team, but it didn't come to show. Among Us also didn't come to show. Even the Iron Hands didn't come to show. Letterman also was on one of the 12 mods that were available to be picked in this round, but it wasn't. It didn't have to come in. Other Talon Flame, Goldango, Great Task, go down, then it came in.
Yeah, so it seems like in this meta game there are a lot of viable mons. And it's so nice to see all the variations of teams and how they play and how you always have to prep against the top few mons, for sure, right? Yeah. Then how you use the other elements of your team to overcome some of these matchups.
Although over here we can't show the statistics of each Terra typing, but seeing over there the top within the top 5 there's a Fire, Water, Grass core with Iron Bundle, Arcanine and Among Us. So if you're a defensive player, this is something that you look at, the tools, redirection, Spore, Intimidate, burn. Then there's big control in IC win from higher bundle. So these are important factors to take note of in your team building. Then when it comes to Iron Hands, he has a fake out, he also poses an offensive threat with his electric moves and fighting moves. So no surprises there. This being the top 5. I believe it was the top 5 in Orlando. Translating here, top 5.
Even in a small local scene of 28 players today.
Yeah. So it's really, the meta is shaping up, right? The meta is shaping up. So these are the 5 mods that you have to look out for. So we see some rope picks going down road. Tatsugiri, okay, stretchy form. It's a stretchy form. Let's see if there's
how many Dondozo? There's 3. So there's another one here. There's two pink, 1 yellow today.
So
to me, Tatsugiri is still very relevant. In Series 2, it can get a little bit better, so it's a bit debatable, but it's still very relevant in Series 2. It's very nice to see all the adjustments and see how the Tatsugiri Dondozo games are played. Quite high level.
So because I think we've seen with the introduction of the Paradox mods, there is a more viable Parry Song users now. So that is one way to win the Dondozo matchup. So other than just hazing opponents, you can perish them because they trap themselves. Dondozo once it's in, it traps itself. You perish song and you win. So maybe that's why there's a big drop off in Dondozo users.
Makes sense.
That's one of the reasons why. And now you see Arcanine coming back to the fore. Being a strong intimidate user, very you just win the iteration. You can snarl, you can burn, slow your opponents down, and then slowly chip damage and take the KO. So maybe this is how the meta is developing. Maybe with the next few rounds we'll see a Dondozo matchup that we
I'm
can
also
cover.
I'm more actually curious to see who comes out on top in top 8.
I think let's take a look at the standings from 2 rounds. Let's see. So we see Dondozo ran by Yoko. That's
Danvir as well.
Danvir was running.
Struggling hard, 1-1, like really working to fight his way into top cut.
It's good to still see the Meowscarada around. The hands blocked off, but it's still there, run by YK.
I don't know whether chat is still here. I fixed this point about the layout, being confusing. But then look at the last team that is 2-0 right now. Right, do you see that?
Yeah.
What if he makes top cut? Apparently, this is Ian. Ian said that he thought of this team last night, and it seems to work out. The betting has no item, because he says the betting needs to thief someone's item. So going 2-0, very impressive. Let's see if he is able to finish off strong with the last 3 rounds.
Yep. Alright, I think we'll take a short break while we finish up all the other matches. Then on to round 4. Coming to you live from Jurong Spring Community Club.